Hi, I'm here to talk a little bit about I statements and why therapists tend to try to shove them right down your throat in couples therapy. Um, so, the reason why a lot of people don't like I statements is they feel very robotic. And at first, they really are until you get used to them. And as you get used to them, it kind of flows a little bit more. It doesn't even feel like an I statement anymore. And at the beginning, when it's robotic, it can actually be kind of helpful because oftentimes your partner knows you're trying to do an I statement because you sound all choppy, and they're more likely to listen. They think it's sweet a lot of times that you're trying this out, and they're more likely to hear you out. So basically, an I statement is just that. It's not a you statement, it's an I statement. So it's a way of telling your partner something without putting the blame on them, because people are much more likely to hear when they're not feeling attacked and they're not on the defensive. And oftentimes, in communication with couples, what I find is that, partner number one will say something and partner number two will hear about 5 or 10 seconds of it, and then they're just kind of waiting for an in, waiting for you to take a breath. And right when you take a breath, they're in with their debate, their side of the story, and they don't really hear you. And then when they're talking, you do the same thing. And so I statements are a way of kind of diverting that and having it go more towards healthy communication. So let me give you an example of an I statement. So if for example, if you're somebody like I am who doesn't like to get up early in the morning, I actually make all my lunch and all that the night before because I hate waking up early. So if you're anything like me and you've made your lunch and you have your sandwich already in the fridge and you're about to go to work and you're about to put it in your cooler or your bag or whatever to take to work, and your sandwich is not there, and then you assume that somebody ate it or took it or whatever because you remember placing it in the fridge and it's not there. So what would be a logical conclusion? That somebody ate it or took it, right? And so if you are running late now because you knew that it was ready and you knew it was only going to take 30 seconds to grab it and put it in your bag, and that's how much time you left, and now you're thinking about it's going to take you 5-10 minutes to make a new sandwich and a new lunch and all that stuff, you're frustrated. And so when you ask your spouse, where's my sandwich, it's going to probably sound a little attacking. And so, if you're attacking your spouse, are they going to be likely to say, oh, let me try and help you. Let me try and make a sandwich. Oh, it's actually back of the milk. I saw it earlier today. No, they're going to probably get defensive and you're going to start an argument, which is then going to make you even later for work. So really attacking them isn't in your best interest. And so if you're able to make an I statement, they're going to be a little more likely to help you out. So let me give you an I statement on that. So it goes, I feel blank, whatever you feel, and then the statement. So in this situation, it might be, I feel frustrated that I made my sandwich last night and it wasn't there. So a you statement, which would be incorrect, is, I made my sandwich last night and it's not there. What'd you do with it? Or what happened to it? And that's insinuating that the other person did something with it, which again is going to lead to a fight. So if I instead were to say, I feel frustrated that I made my sandwich last night, not that now it's not there. And even if they say, well, I didn't take it, you say, oh, I didn't say you took it. I'm just saying it's not there. Do you know what happened to it? Then they might say, oh yeah, I saw it behind the milk. Let me grab it for you. Oh, your son last night was hungry in the middle of the night and I heard him go to the fridge. Maybe he ate it. Let me take care of the sandwich and bring it to you at work. Or let me take care of the sandwich while you finish up what you need to do. You're going to be much more likely to get help. So that is an I statement example. And in therapy, the therapist can actually work with you on day-to-day topics, little topics that aren't going to cause a lot of issues, to get you to practice and build up to the bigger topics. And so that way, when you're talking about the bigger topics, the bigger issues, then you're more of a pro with I statements. And a lot of people will say, well, why can't we just start with the big stuff? And I'll let them know, if you ever watch sports, they're not practicing free throws during the playoffs. They're practicing at the beginning of the season. In baseball, they're practicing batting all through the season. They're not practicing at playoffs. You don't want to practice on a big ticket item. You want to practice on little items. So don't watch this video and go make an I statement about something that you've been arguing with your spouse for 10 years about. practice on those little things like the sandwich, and get better at that, and then work your way up. And if you're needing help, give me a call. Give a therapist a call that's local to you. Set up an appointment and learn how to communicate, so that way you can get what you want more and your partner doesn't feel as attacked. So I hope that's helpful, and as always, take care of yourself.